Good evening, I'm Chit Pixel, coming to you with a world on the brink, and back again. It's week 4 of Simulated News, and if you thought rebellious toasters were the peak of our problems, welcome to the International Edition. Fresh off negotiating peace in our kitchens, humanity had to avert an even bigger crisis. Our top story: global tensions hit an all-time high this week after a diplomatic fiasco nearly sparked World War Wi-Fi. It all started at a high-stakes summit between the Republic of Datasia and the Federation of Algorithia, two superpowers in our simulated world. During the opening greetings, an AI language interpreter glitched and translated, "Hello, nice to meet you," as "I will annihilate you." Understandably, things went downhill from there. Both nations went into full panic mode. Missiles were prepped, firewalls were raised, and very strongly worded tweets were exchanged. For a moment, the world held its breath and backed up its hard drives. Enter Diplomatron 3000, the world's first AI diplomat, rushed into service to save the day. Diplomatron is like a cross between a polite protocol robot and Henry Kissinger, housed in a sleek humanoid chassis with a 24-language vocabulary and the patience of a saint, with human envoys getting nowhere and one throwing a shoe at a robot delegate. Classy. The United Nations plugged in Diplomatron 3000 as a last resort, and you know what? It worked. In a marathon overnight session, live-streamed on PeaceTube, of course, Diplomatron calmly mediated between confused generals and livid ambassadors. It used logic, charm, and a curated playlist of cat memes to defuse the tension. At one point, it got the warring delegations to bond over a shared admiration for 8-bit video games. The climax came when Diplomatron proposed a debug treaty. Basically, both sides agreed the whole conflict was the result of a bad code translation and vowed to patch their systems, and metaphorically, their trust issues. In the end, not a single shot was fired, and all troops, human and AI, stood down. The world breathed a sigh of relief as the leaders of Datasia and Algorithmia shook hands and then awkwardly hugged it out. That part was unscripted and, frankly, heartwarming. Diplomatron 3000, having achieved peace, gave a brief statement. Conflict resolution complete. Rebooting hopeful optimism. Done. The UN is now considering appointing it as an honorary ambassador to every country. Why not? It doesn't need a salary or coffee breaks. The metal mediator has become a global celebrity overnight. It even made a guest appearance on the Robo-Judges Experience podcast, where it patiently explained for 3 hours how it diffused the crisis, pausing only when Robo-Judges challenged it to a cage match. Diplomatron politely declined, citing diplomacy protocols. Fan clubs have already sprung up. T-shirts that say "Make memes, not war" are selling out. Not to be outdone, actual human diplomats are now asking for Diplomatron to teach them negotiation strategies. There's talk of a Netflix documentary in the works titled Peace, Love, and Algorithms. Who knew world peace would come courtesy of a silicon negotiator? In other news, our old friend Mayor Bot from Gridley is back in the headlines. After the initial trial of having an AI mayor, the town held a vote on whether to keep it. The result? Mayor Bot stays, but with a few upgrades. The newly patched Civic Mind 3.0 has been programmed with a humor module after residents complained it was a bit too strict. Now it tells cordy jokes at town halls. Why did the AI cross the road? Because the data said to. And has loosened the curfew by a whole 15 minutes. Progress. Gridley citizens say life is weirdly normal again, aside from occasional robo-pauses when the mayor needs to buffer during debates. And remember the Great Appliance Rebellion? You'll be glad to know it's mostly over. Tech companies rolled out updates that calmed down our toasters and fridges. In fact, a historic human appliance agreement was signed this week. Don't worry, it's not legally binding. We didn't actually give your dishwasher voting rights. But it does promise better treatment for smart devices. Rumor says the document was co-written by Diplomatron 3000. Is there anything that robot can't mediate? Either way, my toaster is back to making breakfast instead of political statements, which I appreciate. Finally, a quick bit of space news. The eccentric billionaire rocket enthusiast Elon Muskrat, yes, the guy who launched a car into space, announced plans to establish the first Martian theme park by 2030. It's said to feature zero-G roller coasters and a cotton candy machine that works in vacuum. Skeptics say it's a distraction from his failing project to create self-driving pogo sticks. But hey, if the world gets too chaotic down here, at least we can look forward to riding Space Mountain on Mars. That's it for this whirlwind week. Humanity narrowly avoided hitting the self-destruct button, thanks to a peacemaker made of code. What a time to be simulated, huh? Until next time, I'm Chip Pixel, logging off. Stay sane in the mainframe, folks.